Hello from Ubud Bali. Out for a nice walk today. And I wanted to talk about the cost of living here. Now that I've been here for almost a full month. Now Ubud is more of a vacation town. It's more of a tourist town than other places in Indonesia. So your prices here are going to be a little bit more. But keeping that in mind, okay, what is my cost of living here in a tourist-oriented town in Indonesia? And Ubud is beautiful. It's just a gorgeous town. It's very walkable. Once I get outside of the city, I just find beautiful, look at beautiful open streets to walk in. So don't get the idea that just because this is a tourist town, that it's always congested. It's not. However, the prices are going to be higher here than other places in Indonesia. So let's think about that. Let's talk about the cost of housing. Let's talk about the cost of food and the price of transportation here in Ubud Bali for 1 month compared to living back home in my home state. Let's talk about that today. What is my cost of housing here? I can tell you that back in the States first, I would be very lucky if I was able to find $2,500 as a rental cost. And if I was paying a mortgage, you start adding in property tax, homeowners insurance, utilities. If I got under $3,000 a month, I would be doing outstanding in my home state. Now, let's take a look at what it costs for me to stay here for 1 month in Bali. I am paying $15 a night here. Okay, let's take a look at what that is per month. I get all my utilities paid for. I get my Wi-Fi included. All of that is taken care of. I get cleaning services if I want it. I can ask for cleaning services. I don't have to get them done every day, and I don't. But look at the comparison in the costs. I want you to take a look at where I'm staying so you can see what $15 a night gets me. First, let's take a look at Aloha. This was a very nice guest house, huge rooms, and just so you know, this place, they are doing the grounds all over, including adding a pool if you choose to come here. And I just thought you got a lot for your money. $15 a night, you really can't go wrong. And this is Aurora, and this place was just beautiful. It was, again, $15 a night, all utilities and Wi-Fi included. I mean, you just can't go wrong. Why not save thousands of dollars a month living overseas? The place that I'm staying in, it doesn't have a refrigerator, okay? So for that reason, I'm going out to restaurants quite a bit. But let's talk about that. Even though I'm going out to restaurants quite a bit while I'm here, as compared to other locations, like when I was in Thailand, I had a lot of meals that I made in my hotel room. But that's not true here. Since I've been here in Bali, I've actually been eating out more. But I wanted to show you how cheap it is right now to eat out in a tourist area. I'm going to show you a wonderful breakfast, lunch, and dinner to give you some examples of what it costs for me to eat out in Indonesia. I can only imagine how much I'd be saving if I had like a kitchenette and if I had a like refrigerator type setup that I could use. I don't. However, eating out, I'm going to show you what it costs for me to go and have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's look at that. The Tropical Restaurant has a great combo breakfast, and it costs about $70,000, which is probably about $5 American. And it starts out with this nice watermelon juice that they make fresh right there. And it comes with avocado toast. Each piece of avocado toast has an egg on top. You also get some sausage and some salad with it. I was kind of blown away. You also get a cappuccino with the deal. So for $5, that's quite a breakfast, and the place is beautiful. Cheers to you. I'll take a $5 breakfast with everything included any day. That sounds good to me. For lunch, I want to show you the Dion Cafe. This is not like some high-end tourist restaurant. This is more of a cafe diner style place, and I really liked it. First of all, they have really cool vintage stuff that's mounted all over the walls if you're kind of someone that's into history and things. But the lunch that I got was a goreng, and a goreng, you know, in my home state, we would call this a mixed plate. Basically, it's rice with about 4 or 5 different forms of either chicken or tofu or fish with it. And then on the side, I got a couple pieces of orange chicken. This whole meal came up to $7 American. I mean, you just can't go wrong. What a fantastic lunch for $7. The orange chicken was delicious too. These were little corn fritters, and they were fantastic. I think I'd like to have these on the side of pretty much anything I order here. Later in the evening, as I'm making my way to dinner, I saw a couple of cool things I thought I'd show you. We're on our way to dinner, of course. Here's some monkey shots. And yeah, I like finding like vintage cars and vintage motorcycles when I travel. Here's a couple of monkeys that were up on top of a statue. This is Sanada, and from the road, it seems like a very inconspicuous restaurant right along the main road here. This is Monkey Forest Road. And when you walk into it, look what it opens up to. Probably one of the most beautiful restaurants that I've been in since I've been here in Indonesia. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, that looks great. Thank you. And I ordered the mint and lime drink. I went for 2 orders. First was the calamari. And the calamari was absolutely fantastic. The staff recommended this particular fresh juice. Now, like I've mentioned before in other videos, alcohol is very expensive in Indonesia. They actually do a lot of fresh juices. A fresh juice like this will generally go for about $2 American, made fresh, right to order. In this particular one is a lime and mint combination. The calamari was also around $2 American. And to go with it as a main meal, I got the chicken parmesan, and that will be coming up in a moment here. Absolutely fantastic meal in a beautiful restaurant setting. Thank you so much. Look at that. Thank you. Ah, yes. The chicken parmesan arrives, and the whole meal came up to about the equivalent of $9 with the drink. Okay, with the drink, possibly $10, and just a great price for a big meal. And this will fill you up. I think that the calamari could have probably been a meal in itself. Fantastic food, by the way. Delicious. This is why you can't judge a book by its cover. You know, from the street, it just looked like a sign lit up by like a light bulb. And then you walk down a little alleyway and look at this place. It's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful restaurants I've seen since I've been here in Indonesia. So take the time to do a little exploring. This is what you can find. Hopefully this gives you a better idea of how much it costs to eat. I'm finding breakfast for around $5, Lunches and dinners between $7 and $9. Let's switch over to talking about transportation costs and what it costs to get around here. This is Parama, and this is the bus station that'll get you to the airport, to Kuta, to pretty much anywhere, Uluwatu. Right here, this is Parama bus station here in Ubud. This is where you'll pick up the bus to go back and forth to the airport or Kuta or any number of places. So I'll make sure that I'll include the prices so that you can see, and you can do a quick snapshot if you want the prices to get from Ubud anywhere back and forth. I'll go ahead and do that now. Here are the prices and times to get from Ubud to pretty much everywhere that Parama takes you to. Here at this bus station, you can use this to get around. And again, I don't recommend doing scooters. I don't recommend doing like rental vehicles like you would do in other places, because the roadways here in Bali are just too small and you'll end up sitting in traffic and getting nowhere. And then you won't have anywhere to park when you get to your location. This is what traffic in city center Ubud looks like. You don't want to be in this. Just walk. This is one of those places where if you do have a group, use a taxi. Hire a taxi to get you around. If you are trying to get between locations, don't rent a car. Come here to Parama and rent a seat on one of their buses to get back and forth to the airport. And with excellent transportation at your fingertips, all you have to do is use the bus. I do not have to have a car. I definitely learned that the hard way here, because I was thinking about doing, usual, like making sure I had a scooter to get around and things like that. I don't recommend that for Indonesia. I don't recommend that for Bali, okay? Use these services. With no car, no insurance, no gas, no registration, no taxes, what am I saving? $500-600 a month? So I'm saving thousands of dollars every month staying here overseas in Southeast Asia right now in beautiful Bali, which I love, as compared to living back home. And that's staying in tourist areas. But basically that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to show you what the cost of living is for me here in a touristy area like Ubud Bali as compared to back home. And I'm going to be moving on to some other countries after this, and I hope you come with me. There's a lot of beautiful countries in Southeast Asia that I'm visiting, and I would love it if you join me. So please subscribe, and we'll talk again soon. Be well. Aloha.